Hello, my name is Eric and I'm doing another one of my photography vlogs. I am here at Hubbard Valley Park just north of Seville, Ohio, part of the Medina County Metro Parks. And it is a very nice mid-June day. And the clouds are out, I got some nice blue sky, I got picnic areas, I got benches, I got playgrounds, I got a whole bunch of stuff going on here. Today's camera is the Canon Rebel S II. This one does have a pop-up flash where you have to lift it up rather than hitting a button. Circa 1994, I believe. Now today's film is Kentmere's 200. Now I've shot this stuff before, so if you look back in the previous episode, you'll see the baseline stuff. But what I'm going to do today is use an orange filter. Now I've used a yellow filter on a previous episode, a little bit of contrast difference. But orange filters on nice blue days will really make the blue part of the sky go dark and your clouds like dramatically pop out. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for today. Get some nice shots, get some cool cloud effects going on. Now anything that is the same color orange is going to go light. I don't see much orange around here because it's not fall, it's all green. But the opposing color to orange is blue, so anything that is blue is going to go dark. So that should be really cool today. All right, let me load it up and then let's see what I can get. All right, so I'm all loaded up, and this, like a couple of the other Canons, pre-winds the roll of film, so you know how many shots you're going to get. Counts down as it goes back inside the canister. I am getting an extra shot this time. It does say I've got 25 shots instead of the typical 24, which is always a good thing when you get an extra photo or two. All right, let me see what I can get. Okay, so my filter size on my lens is 55, but my, actually take back, it's 58, but my filter is 67, so I don't have a step ring, so I'm going to be holding it in front. Actually kind of fits a little better if I just turn it upside down and I'm going to shoot it that way. So I'm going to do some before and after shots, so hopefully you'll see some differences between with and without the orange filter. All right, let me see what else I can get. So I just thought of a nice comparison you can see with and without the orange filter. My backpack was orange, so I took off the backpack, shot it once normally, and then once with the orange filter, and maybe I'll have a split shot. You can kind of see the differences that should go darker gray without the filter. It should go much lighter, maybe a very, very light gray with the orange filter. All right, let me see what else I can get. Okay, so when you shoot with colored filters to add contrast to your black and white, one thing to be aware of is the darker the filter, the harder the camera might have to try to autofocus. So typically maybe a yellow filter or a very light cyan filter, maybe you wouldn't have any issues. But every now and then it's kind of snaps out of focus and comes back when I'm using the orange. It would probably be even worse with a red 25 or red 29 or even a green filter. So just be aware that you might have to manual focus on a couple of things just because of the darkness of the filter. All right, I'm about halfway done. I got 11 shots remaining because it's counting down, not up. And there's a lake over there, or really big pond, one of the two. Poofy clouds in the sky. Let me see what else I can get. So another thing to be aware of when shooting colored filters, and or filters in general, if you've got one that's a little bit darker, it's going to slow down your shutter speed a little bit. Polarizers can slow down your shutter speed by 1.5 stops. The light cyan or the yellows is maybe 1 stop. Variable neutral densities, you can get those to dial in from 1.5 to like 12 stops. Kind of cool. Solar filters, almost 16 stops. This orange filter, I'm about 1.5 stops. I went from a 90th of a second to about a 30th of a second. So 90th, 45, down to 30. So maybe 1.5 stops. When I'm shooting it, so kind of that borderline whether or not I can handhold it. With this shorter lens, and this is the typical Canon 3580 f4 to 5.6 that came with this camera, so nothing Nothing special on this zoom lens here. All right, let me see what else I can get. About 6 shots remain. Be right back. Okay, so for those of you that shoot digital, take a look at your specs and see how many autofocus points you have. Some are in the 50s, some are in the hundreds. There's even a few that are in the thousands. Back in the mid-90s, it's 3. Yeah, 3 autofocus points. Center, left, right. Some of them had 5, so it would be center, to the left, to the right. Some of the pro models maybe had 9 where you start getting a honeycomb pattern. But the base models were typically 3 to 5. So I'm using my center bracket and then recomposing as I need to, because it's not going to grab the closest thing like you're used to. It's just grabbing down center. All right, last shot. As you can tell, camera is finishing winding it back inside the canister, and I don't have to rewind it. There it is, all set. Photos will be posted at the end, so feel free to subscribe to keep an eye on other episodes that come out about every Friday and Saturday, about noonish Eastern time. Give it a thumbs up if you like the camera, like the film, like using an orange filter. Comment on which photos you like better, with or without the filter. Otherwise, I'll see you next episode. Thanks.